Hi, I'm Rachel, and today we're going to be going over how to do trigonometric function and identity problems. Of course, you have to start off by knowing the trigonometric functions, right? We have theta here, and this is our right angle. This is the opposite leg to theta. This is the adjacent leg because it's touching theta, and this is the hypotenuse of our triangle. I'll write it as hype. Now, sine is very important. Sine of theta is going to be the opposite over the hypotenuse. The cosine of theta is going to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And tangent of theta is going to be the opposite over the adjacent. These you just have to memorize. And when you're doing problems with these, a lot of times they'll have a problem like they'll give you a flagpole and they'll say, here's the shadow, please calculate, what is the measurement of the angle. So you can say, okay, well I can take the sine of that angle and I can put the opposite over the adjacent, and that will give me the measurement of the angle. There's also cosecant, right, which we can write as two ways. One is the trigonometric function, right, which is the opposite, hypotenuse over opposite, the opposite of sine. You can also use the identity to write 1 over sine. That is a trigonometric identity right there. Cosine you can write as hypotenuse over adjacent when you're doing secant, right, which is the opposite of cosine. You can also write secant as 1 over cosine. That's another identity. Tangent, when you're turning that into cotangent, you can write adjacent over hypotenuse, and you can also write 1 over tangent. So those are examples of some trigonometric identities. Another great way to solve trigonometric identity problems is to know the Pythagorean identity, which is sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. That is a very important identity that's used often to solve a lot of different types of problems. Then you can use these types of identities. There's lots of other identities that you just have to memorize and become familiar with so that when you solve these types of problems, it becomes much simpler. I'm Rachel, and thank you for learning with me today.